Okay, we're going to look at your Black Death assessment together. In the Black Death assessment, you answered 5 exam-style questions. And in this presentation, you'll be shown the question, given guidance for answering the question, and annotated sample answers. You should annotate your own answers in your books and set yourself a target for improving. Note, you may want your Black Death pre-assessment worksheet with you, as this has the mark schemes for the questions you answered inside. So, why are we asking you to look at your assessment and write comments? This is called assessment for learning, and we do it for many reasons. 1, we want to see how much you have learnt compared to the start of the course. 2, we want to make you think about how you have learnt and how you could improve your work. We want you to interact with your books. Thirdly, it helps us as teachers plan for future lessons. If many of you find reliability questions hard, we will cover them again in class and do work on them so you can achieve better results. Finally, by looking at how you learn and what you learn and how you go about it, we can make activities suitable for you. Not too easy, not too hard. We know what level you're working at. So, at the start of the assessment in class, you were given a set of instructions. Did you follow these instructions? Did you take 40 minutes? If not, how much time did you take? If you finished before the 40 minutes were up, what did you do with your spare time? Did you colour code PEA, point, evidence, analysis? Have you corrected your spelling in your work? Did you leave 4 lines between your answers? If you did some of these and not others, take time now to go over your books and correct the spelling mistakes and perhaps colour code 1 or 2 paragraphs. So, in your assessment you answered 5 questions. You answered comprehension questions, which was question 1, 2, 3 and 4. You also answered a usefulness question, a reliability question, which was question 5. As you went through the questions, they got progressively harder, moving from 1, 2 and 3 being comprehension, to question 4 being comprehension and inference, what can it tell us, to question 5 being about the reliability of a source. We will now look at these questions in turn and see what level you got and how you could move to the next level. So your question 1 was, use source A and B to explain how the Black Death came to England. This is a comprehension question, so you must give information about the event using both sources, both source A and B. Look at your answer to question 1. What level has your teacher given you and why? If you got a level 3 overall, this is because there was general statements and no real supporting evidence. Level 4, the information you gave was much more relevant and some supporting evidence is given. Level 5, developed statements refer to both sources. There's a good use of quotations and you're suggesting something from the source, which we call inference. An example answer. Question 1. Source A tells me that it began in India. It also goes on to tell me that in Britain it started in Southampton before spreading to Bristol. This suggests it was brought by ships. Source B tells me that a sailor from Bristol brought the plague with him to Melcombe in Dorset. It says one of the sailors had brought with him from France the disease. In this answer, we can see that there are developed statements referring to both sources, source A and source B. There's also good use of supporting evidence, quotations. For example, it began in India, and one of the sailors had brought with him from France the disease. Quotations are used for both sources. Finally, we can see in this answer for a level 5 that it is suggesting something from the source. This suggests it was brought by the ships. We are adding our own knowledge to the source and thinking about what it can tell us. So, look at your work. Using the mark scheme, how could you improve your answer? You will have been given an overall answer. Using the sentence starters, write, this answer is a level 3, 4, 5, and to get to the next level I must. For this you must write 2 comments to make it better. So for example, if you are a level 3, how would you get to a level 4? If you're a level 4, how could you get to a level 5? Take time now to write those 2 comments. Question 2 asked you, in what ways do the writers of source A and B disagree about how the Black Death came to England? Again, as we saw at the start, this is a comprehension question. It gives us information about the event using both sources. So we can see there is quotations, inference, and developed statements referring to both sources. Example answer for question 2. Source A tells me that it began in Southampton and it began in India and started in Southampton before spreading to Bristol. But source C tells me that the Black Death came from France and that people of Melcombe were first in England to be infected. Therefore, source A and B disagree on the origin of the Black Death. Here we can see there is developed statements referring to both sources. There is also good use of supporting evidence, quotations. And it is suggesting something from the source, inference. So, as you did with question 1, using this mark scheme, how could you improve your answer? You need to write down 2 comments under your answer to make it better. If you need help, there are again the sentence starters in the top right hand corner to help you write your sentences. So think, if you have been given a level 3, how could you get to a level 4? If you have been given a level 4, how could you get to a level 5?